Hello. All right. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, I need to change my output settings. Hold on. I don't hear anybody yet. 1 second.
Hello, everyone else.
Hello, everyone else.
Oh, wait. I think my headphones are in the wrong spot.
Oh,
There we go. I think I can hear people now.
get me out of here!
Okay.
Hello, hi. How's everybody?
Good.
Fine, not much happened today, really, so
Mhm.
far. Sorry, throat's a little dry.
I was gonna dress up as Velma today, but the costume didn't come in early enough.
Oh. Well, it's
I
not
think I'm just gonna
Halloween
basically
yet.
wear a suit.
So...
You're not having
don't
a
even-
Patreon
oh.
hangout on Halloween.
No.
You're having it today. Silly.
Whatever.
Well, to be fair, I'm glad we're because I've been busy really because I have an internship and I work on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So if we did it on Halloween, I just would not be able to come. So having it on Friday was probably good for me at least, you know.
Mhm.
So,
Jay, what's up?
So I just want to get this out of the way, but I remember when you and Alex talked about Alien Romulus for Sardonicast, and I definitely remember you two saying that your experience with that movie was like ass eating and dick sucking. And I was wondering if would you say that pop culture as of now has leaned towards rape culture?
What?
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 Sorry. I don't remember using those words, ass eating and dick sucking, first of all. Second, pop culture led towards rape culture. So I'm assuming that what you're not talking about actual rape culture, but
All I'm
you're
saying is that we're
making
at
a
a point where
joke.
pop culture as a whole has leaned to a bunch of angry arguments, and the fact that pop culture as a whole feels like it's more disheartening and more like properties like say like Ralph Breaks the Internet and Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, where everything at this point feels like it's more, hey, remember this,
okay.
and you're not doing anything with
Yeah,
these
yeah,
older
like
new properties.
member berries for sure.
Member
Did you
berries.
Yeah.
say rape culture though?
Hmm?
That's why I got
Okay.
That's what it
confused.
sounded like what you said.
What did you say when you said pop culture turns into what? What was the second thing you said? That's why I got confused, is because I thought you said rape culture. But it sounds like you're not talking about that.
Yeah, I must have said rape culture.
Reddit
Basically
culture.
the point is that pop culture as of now is basically becoming this point where you might as well say that, and the fact that it's kind of ruining this sort of conversation about,
I mean,
like,
yeah, it's been that way for a while. Like South Park parodied this like what, a decade ago or something. Like it's just it's been that way for so long that the average person is clued into the fact that this is happening.
yeah, not to mention everyone's already fatigued with, like, say, old properties getting renewed, and the fact that everyone's already hating like what they're doing with the new properties like Star Wars, which, as of course, you don't like at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's well, I never liked Star Wars, but now I'm comfortable saying that. Yeah, it just depends on who's directing, really. Like Luca Guadagnino is doing American Psycho. I'll watch it.
Yeah, I'm
Is he really doing
interested to
American
see
Psycho?
that.
Sorry, what?
Is he really doing that? All I saw is that he was
that's
doing
the word on the street. Yeah.
like an adaptation of American Psycho, or is he doing a source material directly to American Psycho?
I think it's based on the book.
Oh, so he's doing
Yeah.
like a remake?
Oh yeah, re-adaptation.
Well, yeah, I don't know how far the existing movie deviates from the book. So we'll see what Luca's interpretation is, because I don't know.
According to Shark, there was way more commentary on like sexuality in the book.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, because Luca's adaptation of Suspiria justified its own existence. It didn't just like, oh, we're gonna capitalize off of this existing IP and that's it. Like that wasn't the point. Like it did something completely different. So in that sense, it's like, okay, well, you're making a new movie, so why not? But yeah, in terms of Alien Romulus, they didn't make a new movie, and
No.
that's the problem.
Yeah, the problem is that like everyone like I guess they just want people to regurgitate the same old properties and stuff, and it's been a problem that's this for like a while, so it's nothing new, you know.
Hmm. Yeah, I got some blackout curtains, but then I realized that
Ooh.
they're not the right size, so I'm waiting for one more to show up.
Hey,
So I'm
Beth.
using a dumb moving blanket for the center part. But now I'm looking at it, and it's like it's so black. I'm wondering if I should put like a tapestry or something over top of it.
Yeah, I was wondering exactly what that was. That was like 2 TVs.
No, that'd be funny.
Get like gigantic monitor. Yeah.
Jay, your hand is still up. Are you?
Well, I guess my last question for right now is that on a lighter note, would you say that after recently watching The Substance, would you say this is better than Titan? Especially because I find it coincidental that both are directed by a French woman. It's their second feature after taking a long break from their first debut, and its main character involves a woman having the most disturbing transformation that I've ever seen in recent cinema.
And they both went to the same film school.
Really?
Oh, did
That's
they?
Yeah, they did.
interesting.
Yeah.
I
And they
loved
were-
The Substance. Holy shit.
Yeah,
that
the
was
substance is better than
Yeah.
Titan.
I agree, honestly. I love Titan, but like The Substance was just on a whole other level.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've seen it twice now, and I love it.
I prefer Titan, honestly.
That's
Maybe
fine.
that's just a personal preference.
That's perfectly fine to feel that way.
I really like the a lot of the like messaging about like sex and gender into Tang
Mm-hmm.
that I relate to a lot more. The Substance is phenomenal though. It's really great.
I mean, yeah, they're both great.
I mean, I think I like The Substance more just because of the. I mean, it's obvious of what the message is, but it's what it goes for that I feel like it will never get out of my brain, especially when it goes to the third act of the movie.
I'm actually writing a analysis on The Substance for like a school paper soon, so that'll be fun to.
That's a
I already
great
know-
idea.
I
Yeah.
Is
already
it for
finished
like
it. Oh, I
English
finished
or
the
like
rough
for
draft
film
of it.
school that you're trying to do?
Well, it's for a journalist class, and they said make an analysis. So the paper was basically like analyze a film that has like either a message about race, gender, or class. And I just like The Substance fits that description on the gendering, I guess, class to an extent perfectly. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna write a paper on that on that film and see how it goes.
And you didn't do Borderlands?
They should team up and do a Grindhouse.
Hmm.
Both of the directors, they do Grindhouse.
No, yeah, they should team up and make a movie together.
Grindhouse 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Pretty sure Damien Leone could just revamp the Grindhouse because his movies are already kind of like that anyway.
No, he lacks the self-awareness to be able to pull that off.
To go
I
back
did
to
see
American.
oh,
Sorry.
no, you go ahead. I'll talk about Terrifier 3 later.
I was going to talk about Luca doing American Psycho. Are they going to get the writer for the great potion seller?
That'd be funny.
That would be completely
That'd be
hilarious.
sick.
I haven't seen Queer yet. I heard Queer's coming out in November, but that might just be like doing a limited release in November, then wider release in December or something.
I want to fucking see it before the end of the year. I heard really good things.
Don't expect a super wide release. I think it's a little niche. It's not going to be super accessible for a lot of people.
I mean,
then
they'll probably
again-
do like a very sneaky marketing because I think it's going to be picked up by A24. So who
It
knows
was
if we're
picked
going to
up
be
by
like a wide
A24.
release.
I heard that A24 is going to make The Brutalist their like big Oscar
Yeah.
film this year. So
That's
we'll
what it
see how that
seems like,
goes.
yeah. I'm
It seems
excited to see
interesting.
it. I just couldn't fit it in at TIFF.
I want to see it, even though it's 3.5 hours long. But then again, I sat through.
It better
Killers of the
fucking
Flower
live up to the hype. If it like at 3.5 hours long, if it doesn't live up to the hype, then I'm gonna be pissed. Like if you make your movie almost 4 hours long, then it has to be like a
Yeah.
masterpiece. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You gave Fox
Same.
Lex a 7. So I don't know if he would do better with 3 hours.
I mean, that was my concern, but based on the reception, it seems like it is much better.
Okay.
I mean, wasn't Martin Scorsese's last movie also 3 hours and 30 minutes long, and people
Yeah,
Killers
seem
of
to
the
like
Flower
it.
Moon. It was.
It was like mid.
I sat through that in a theater, and somehow I never went to the bathroom during that entire session.
I didn't either.
Me too.
I was-
Probably a good thing for the three of us.
Beth, what's up? Your mic's off.
We can't hear you.
Beth, your mic's off. We can come back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't hear you, so figure that out.
Sorry about that. Well, since people mentioned Damien Leone earlier, I did see Terrifier 3 with some friends, and they all enjoyed it way more than I did. I mean, I had fun with them at least, but it felt underwhelming considering that we just got the Substance, which like had it delivered on like violence and gore, but also was really well made. Whereas Terrifier 3 just felt like, hey, gore is fun, but then the story kind of sucked and wasn't great.
Yeah, Terrifier 3 is schlock. And if you enjoy schlock, then it's fun.
Yeah,
I mean,
I wouldn't expect much more from it.
Did you
I
watch
mean, I
the
enjoyed
first
it
two,
more-
or?
Yes, actually, I marathoned the first two over a week, the weekend before I saw it. Like, I literally saw it just because I wanted to do like a friend hangout thing, and because they wanted to see it, and I was like, I'll watch the first two.
I
And the
only
first
saw
one
the first- Sorry,
the first-
you go.
the first one fucking drags, even despite being only 85 minutes. Second one, it drags, but not as badly. And third one, this one didn't drag. It's like the least dreadful in terms of how much it drags. But with the non Art the Clown scenes were like so fucking boring to me. Like, yeah.
Yeah, the third one, I think they figured out pacing a bit better. The second one is like, in my opinion, the worst example for just it not understanding what it is. It has like the best kill in it, the second one, so that's something. But
I mean, I get where you're going from. Although I thought the some of the kills, without spoilers, in 3 were pretty rad.
I mean, yeah, they're fun, but like nothing compares to that one in the second movie.
So wait, how do you rank the current Terrifier movies at this point?
I mean, it's like worst from best. It's like the first one to the third one. The third one's my favorite of the bunch, but then 2 is right behind it, and 1's terrible.
Yeah, I think
One
3
is
and 2 are
terrible.
really close for me, but
can you
I
guys
think
hear
3
me
is a
now?
little better. Yeah,
Yes,
I
we
hear you.
I can
can.
hear you.
Hey, Beth.
Yeah, hey, I wanted to show you guys some cool things that I had. So this is an old booster pack of Magic the Gathering from 1995.
Oh shit!
I
When
got
did
it
they
for
start?
like 93.
Oh damn!
It was the
Oh,
first trading
wow.
card game. First trading card game. I also got this in the post today.
What's that?
Toxtricity VMAX PSA
shit.
10.
I don't
Yeah,
know what that
that's
is,
a-
but it looks cool.
It's an electric poison type, and this is my Arceus PSA 9 Japanese, and this is my
Ooh.
first edition's Neo Genesis Skarmory from 2000.
They look very
wanted to
well
show you that.
protected.
Yeah, I bought them off eBay after they were graded.
Oh nice.
I've got more graded cards, but yeah, these are ones that I'm most proud of.
I'm every card that I get, I just do Pokemon, but I don't even keep them in sleeves because I'm like I want to play with
No.
them. Like I'm using these things. Sorry.
Boo!
What do you mean,
Not
boo?
worried about-
I'm allowed to do what I want with my goddamn Pokemon cards.
You're not worried about how much they'll rank if you were to send it to a professional and see how
No,
much it's worth?
because I'm not selling them, so who cares?
Because Adam doesn't want to get rich in the future.
What if
Yeah.
you've got a really valuable one worth like thousands of dollars?
I don't.
But what if you did?
Snack.
I watched the Sardonicast episode of when you were discussing Everything Everywhere All at Once, and you mentioned that you have PT on your PlayStation.
I do. I
And
have it on
yet-
2
Fuck.
PlayStations because I was able to successfully transfer it
Yeah.
over to a different one.
And talked about how you do nothing to protect it because of it's yours,
I
and if
hate
it breaks,
Konami so
What do you
much.
mean?
your
Do
money.
nothing? Wait, do nothing to protect PT?
I like your snake.
Yeah,
I
you
like your
mentioned,
snake
like,
take, Gibbs.
if your PlayStation was to stop working and you
Thank
lost PT, you didn't care
What's,
about the resale value.
Are you sure that
What's-
wait, what? I don't know if I'm being accurately represented here. It
I
seems
don't
like
see that.
it seems like
Players.
there's context missing from whatever I said because that doesn't sound like me.
Possibly.
What's your snake's name?
River. I
Oh, that's
got
cool.
I got her from a coworker. He gave me to her for free, and that was the name he gave her. So I just decided to honor it.
Well,
She's
I hope
very
your cat's
cool.
neck doesn't kind of interfere with our conversation, especially if
I
it's
know.
electric equipment.
I will say, I actually am loving the Bloober Team like remake of SH2.
So did you have to get it on PS5?
Yeah, I got it on PS5, but yeah, it's really it runs perfectly on PS5. It's a lot of fun. Like, I remember you said in the trailer the combat looked like kind of janky, but it really doesn't feel like that in the finished game.
I'm hoping that's the case.
Every encounter just feels like such a brutal, like life or death situation, which is just what I look for in survival horror.
Okay.
Also, the maps are far more streamlined. I wasn't getting lost as much as the first one. And also they took like classic puzzles and like kind of upgraded them. It's really interesting.
So you and Tora both were unable to play on PC because it didn't work, right?
Okay, I should explain that like a lot of PC games don't run too well when I'm streaming. But Tora had performance issues, so I figured that was part of it. Like I was getting lag and like the company logo.
Okay, because I have I have a separate PC for gaming that won't be influenced by streaming.
I believe.
So I'm wondering because I haven't bought it yet.
I believe that the PC version has been patched, but I still recommend doing the PS5 version.
Why?
It's very stable. I haven't run into like any performance issues, and it kind of just feels right with a PS5 controller.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm really loving it. Like I'm really shocked to see Bloober actually put out something so competent.
Well, I'll play it at some point, but
although I wouldn't be surprised if it just came off the fact that they were just copying the homework of like Silent Hill 2 or something. I haven't played it, to be fair, so
maybe they got good.
Myself.
I've played Silent Hill 2 and like the original, and they definitely improved in a lot of ways. The voice acting is not quite as bad. I kind of like how they redesigned Eddie. I think he looks really interesting. It's just so much fun. By far the weirdest thing is when you go to save, though. The save points were kind of laughable. I'm not sure what they were going for, but it's hilarious.
I'll see that when I get to it.
Aren't you doing the new Life is Strange this Sunday, or
I am.
The first 2 chapters?
I'm pumped. It's gonna be great.
That's the plan.
Life is cringe. Let's go.
Life is cringe. Indecent exposure.
That's funny.
Yeah, Chloe and Max are back, right?
Chloe's back.
That's the assumption from like 5 years ago that I predicted. Yes.
Fucking took long enough.
It was inevitable.
I feel like it's gonna be one episode where they're gonna like feel obligated to do something like that because you can't not have Chloe and Max.
Can we expect that the game will live up to the fact that it'll be hella cringe?
Yes.
It better.
Do you think it'll be hella woke as they're doing with Dustborn right now?
We are the Dustborn. Yeah. We are the new porn.
Shut up. Stop talking, Olivia. I'm sorry.
So, thing is...
What'd you say?
I'm laughing. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. What are you laughing at? I couldn't hear.
Who?
You were singing Dustborn and I was cringing.
Oh yeah, Dustborn. Yeah, I couldn't hear what you were laughing at.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I wanted to keep this sealed, but then the pack wasn't in that great condition. Like it was bent a bit, and it was a bit faded. So I decided, fuck it, I'll open it. And I think this is my favorite card I got from it.
Nice.
Jeweled it's Magic the Gathering though. It's not Pokemon. Anyway, yeah.
All right. I just had to send a reminder to the gaming channel editor that I'm doing Life is Cringe because we got the Donkey Kong one's done. So
honestly, Adam, though, if you look in the settings and it doesn't say like hella high, I probably would just turn it off.
okay, so yeah, you rewatched the
Yes.
Sardonicast episode.
Yeah, you.
It's
said
not.
You don't care
it's
about
not
the
that I
resale
didn't
value.
care. It's not that I wasn't doing anything to protect it.
Right.
It's that I didn't have any intentions on selling it.
Exactly. That's what you meant.
That sounds like me.
Yeah.
Not even if you have any intentions of like you have to pay a very large bill and you're forced to sell one of your Pokemon cards.
If I have to pay a very large bill, I'm selling something else, like like I have like a cello.
I would buy
and a
a
saxophone.
Cello. Yeah, if you'd sold it.
It's like when
how did you
no,
end up?
never mind.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
We always do this. How did you end up with PT?
I downloaded
very
it
lucky ones.
when it was a game that was able to download.
Mm-hmm.
I was
hate
alive
Konami
at that point in
so-
time.
I despise Konami so fucking much.
Especially
I
after
just
they
don't-
Sorry, I
don't know
meant
why people-
especially.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, especially after they fired Kojima.
Yeah.
I mean, they've just done a lot of slimy shit in general.
That's the only thing I've heard of. I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, you're fine. That's what sucks about like Zoom and Patreon is that it's not in person, so you can't tell when someone's about to talk. It's a lot harder to tell.
Yeah.
Shut up! I was talking.
No, fuck you, Adam.
Wow.
I also just kind of have a problem where like I'll start talking and then be like, oh god, I talked over to that person, and then it's like,
Yeah.
do I keep going or do I apologize? What do I do?
Yeah,
No,
I feel
sit
bad
down.
for it. I feel
But-
bad for doing it.
Why doesn't Konami and just any like video game companies really care about like keeping media in general and
Well, to
artistic integrity?
To quote grade under A on this one, because money, you idiot.
Oh, okay.
Although you'd think that if they sold their old titles, they would be making money off of them.
Yeah. Let someone remake it if you're not gonna do it.
Literally,
if you're
just
not gonna
like
take the time.
Yeah.
Nintendo
Oops.
wound up using what was it? They wound up using some shit from like Dolphin emulator in their like Super Mario Sunshine,
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they've done
Yeah.
that before.
which
That's
I think it
fucking
like
so
why not?
funny.
Yeah, like that's
Yeah.
cool. If there are people emulating your old games for free, then you still own the license to those games. Then just take what the work that they've done for free, and then sell them.
It's not just the Super Mario 3D All Stars like Sunshine thing. I think in Japan they opened up the Nintendo Museum, and I think one of the things you could do is you could play like old Nintendo games like in person with like stuff like old Wii games, old GameCube games, N64 games, etc. And people found out immediately that they were using emulators for all of those like exhibits.
Of course.
Like the people that went there immediately found out that like they're just using emulators. They're not actually using the real life hardware to use them.
I
Which is
mean, it's the
annoying.
equivalent of like when filmmakers are using AI, so it's not that big deal anymore since there's a lot of people that's been talking about this stuff before, and especially with emulators, whether you like it or not, in many ways you either save money on the physical media or basically you save money and time by just getting an emulated copy just so you can play like some of the rarest games that you can never afford.
There's nothing wrong with emulation, but there are some things you can't emulate.
Yeah,
Like-
some things are
Like Kirby's Tilt and Tumble.
Although they put
Yeah.
they did put Tilted Tumble on the Nintendo Switch Online thing, and they have actual motion controls for that.
Nice.
So they at least put it on that.
Okay,
They
shit.
finally figured it out.
Yeah, why not?
cool.
Although
have so many cables.
I think the games. I think the games that are the hardest to emulate most likely are like VR games. I think those are probably in my head like the hardest things to emulate because like you have to have like an entire peripheral on your head and then you go through all the process and stuff. I would imagine that's like impossible to fucking emulate.
I think I have
emulation
slightly
for
more
like
space in
those
my room now
motion
for
hand
VR.
control games like Wii, for instance. I'm pretty sure someone has already done that other than Connect.
Neck games.
Is there really a need for emulation of VR though, considering that the majority came from like 2016 to like, or even 2012 to like pretty early? I don't think if you wanted to like replicate something from like the Nintendo VR system, that I guess that'd be different, but you don't really need
The Virtual Boy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure if there's any way you could emulate VR games that are like pre-Oculus Rift days, where back then we get like 3 versions of the development kits.
Okay.
I would love to emulate the fucking what were they, like Meta Quest games, but that doesn't seem to be possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They made a Batman one recently.
Which is so annoying. I already fucking hated console exclusivity shit.
Yeah.
Why do we have to do it for headsets?
By the same company, like owned by like Meta, but because your headset's like the first edition, you can't fucking play it.
I hate Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
I wonder if the founder of Oculus is still has the rights to the console before I got bought over by Zuckerberg before renaming it as MetaQuest.
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. I think he sold the company.
Yeah.
You name it Meta, you fucking normie.
Yeah, as soon as you can name it Meta, you kind of realize it goes downhill from there, and that VR headsets are not as cool as they used to.
Beth, what's up?
Yeah. Oh, so I've got a little game for you guys. I'm so sorry if I'm being a piece of shit right now.
No, you're not.
What do you mean?
I just mean I'm being intrusive. I think I am. Anyway, it's a little self-esteem talking. Anyway, I've got a little game for you guys. Guess how much this booster pack, how much I paid for it. I'm not trying to be like flex or anything.
$30.
It's from 1995.
$30. £200.
It cost me £35.
I was close.
Wow.
Damn.
Overestimated.
An old booster pack from 95.
Did you get it at a like garage sale, or how'd you get it?
No, I got it from eBay.
Oh, just someone was crazy.
Yeah, but I don't think it's a really like. I don't think it's a really pricey set though, even though it's like an old Magic the Gathering set. Like, if you
It's
want
unopened,
really like,
though, right?
Yeah.
it is opened
it's
actually. I
open.
did open it, but I put it in a little. I sealed it again. Yes, because it's 29 years old, and because I just like collecting these things. Yeah. So
Alpha's the one that like really goes for like 10 grand a pack.
If you have a Black Lotus, Alpha Black Lotus,
Yeah.
you're set for life.
Yep.
Yeah.
How much is that worth?
Hold on, let me look it up.
$1 million?
I know
While
it's like
you're-
something ridiculously
There
high. I
is
don't
a
play Magic or
Gathering card that
anything.
costs that
I'll
much.
probably take it back if it says it costs around £200.
Yeah.
Post Malone, but there was this. Okay, let me tell you. There was this one only print of a
The
One
One
Ring
Ring.
card. The One Ring for the Magic the Gathering Lord of the Rings set. There was only one copy of it ever printed, and this one guy in Toronto pulled it, and Post Malone bought it for $2 million.
Canadians.
Nice. Max, what's that?
Sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
I think I'd like to probably do like a film recommendation as some sort. And of course, Adam, you being a furry, I think you'd probably like this one.
Great start.
What is that?
What is that?
Is this like a European thing only?
Foot trot
It's more like oh yeah, let me show you the title.
flats.
From one of us said Foxtrot.
It was,
So-
The dog's tail.
A dog's tale. He's a border collie. So the film Footwood Flats is based on a comic that was very popular in New Zealand in around the 70s and 80s. This came out in like 86. And I used to read the comics, like the comic strips, when I was like a little kid in the 90s. And I used to watch this movie a lot when I found out this was a movie. I rented it in like Blockbuster a lot. And seeing as it got like re-released a few years ago, and the creator of the comic and the director of this movie, Murray Ball, he passed away a few years ago.
Oh.
So it was like, I thought I'd recommend either as a watch along or something you could watch off stream, Adam.
You'd
Anyway,
better
this-
vote for it in the next Patreon poll then.
In the next Patreon, guys, if you want a good animated experience,
It better be better than fucking Jennifer's Body.
It's
I
funny
heard it
that
was
there's
shit.
like just the reception to my rating is like, how does he not like this movie? There's bisexuals in it, and I'm just still waiting for someone to like
What does that
justify why it's a
matter?
good movie.
Oh, it's the Life is Strange effect again.
Yeah.
There's
So
bisexuals
wait,
in it.
Max, is this the only New Zealand film that got like an animated film? Because I know New Zealand art and Taika Waititi is very rare these days.
I feel like it's probably one of the few only ones, and this was also animated in both New Zealand and in Australia. I think we had an animated studio in Sydney that animated this movie. Because it was kind of like popular in both New Zealand and Australia, the comic series. So of course both countries would have a share of collaborating to animate it. Yeah, it's not a perfect movie, but I think it's a great watch when you're like a fan of like the comic strips or like independent like animation in general. This was
Okay.
like a hit in the box office at the time when it came out in New Zealand and Australia. I don't think
So
it had
just a heads
huge
up, what type of comedy style are we talking about? Because it feels like it's like another. What's that other anime movie that's based off a comic strip, but it's from France and it had like Viking horns, whatever it was called?
Obelix.
Oh,
yes.
Hoplex.
Yeah, Asterix and
Yeah.
Obelix. Yeah, the iconic European
Great.
comic that you'll always go to if you're staying in like some foreign place. You'll always see that little. Yeah.
Hi, Adam.
Hello.
Whenever just weren't finished or wanted to redo it. That happens a lot of time on films like that.
Yeah, I heard he wanted to get rid of Adam in the movie, which is like, dude, I hate this dude. Let's delete like his two scenes.
Max, was that it?
I put a link for more like Foot Rock Flats related like art and stuff on for a Google search thing if you're ever curious learning more about it. I think I think I should also ask Tora if he's seen this as well, considering it's Kiwi and Australian. He seems like the kind of like at the age gap where he probably used to read a lot of these comics as a kid.
Perhaps. I'll add it to my list. Thank you.
You say Foot Trot is more funnier than Garfield.
I don't think so. I think I think the movie
Which
especially has a
Garfield?
better story than any of the Garfield movies. It's kind of like a mixture of coming of age and whatnot.
I like
It's
the
kind of
original
irrelevant,
Garfield
basically.
animated series.
It's entertaining.
That wolf was gigantic. I could see in the video that's playing in your Minecraft, Olivia, that wolf is just.
Yeah, I increased its scale.
Yeah.
That's funny.
BC, what's up?
Okay, well, I'm gonna change my profile picture for a sec to something that happened. Hold on. Wait. Oh no, I messed up. I gotta bring it back up. Okay, so in the honor of Venom, Venom: The Last Dance coming out today. I don't know if you saw the stupid Venom pizza that Australia.
Oh God.
Oh yeah.
I guess I'll look it up
Oh,
unless
this
you're
is gonna
about to
be
show
great.
it.
I'm
Venom
scared.
jizzed on the pizza.
Uh-oh.
What?
Hold on.
Australia? What?
There we go. I got it working.
Nice.
Okay.
I'm
What the
guessing
hell
it's
is
ink
this?
squink sauce, right?
Oh.
Pizza Hut.
Okay, I just want to ask: Would you eat this, Adam?
Of
even for
course.
the meme?
Of course I would eat it for the meme. What the hell's the sauce, though?
Yeah, what's the black goo?
Probably
Squid
ink
ink?
squid sauce, right?
Or it could be squid ink or
It's supposed to
Yeah,
be
that's
like
what I said. Squid
symbiote.
ink.
It's
Black
it's like-
aioli is what it says.
Black aioli.
Black
Okay.
Yeah.
It was
That sounds
An
good.
Italian seasoning is what I'm.
I think that's what Shark said. Yeah.
I'd eat it, yeah.
Adam,
I know
It's
Shark said
to,
he's gonna try it out on stream for a meme,
Sure.
so that'll be
Yes.
fun at least. Can you maybe you
Pizza
can
Hut's
get
not
Tor-
good though.
It
No,
is.
that's the
No,
thing.
it's garbage.
I do
It's-
not
it's
like
McDonald's of
Pizza
pizza.
Hut. One time
Yeah.
I ate there and I ended up vomiting on my bed.
Nice.
So
At
that was
like-
just great.
At like 3
Was
in
it
the
like
morning
food
or something.
poisoning, Olivia?
Yeah, I guess I got
It
fucking
might have
food
been.
poisoned. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Was that like 3 in the morning? Was that like 3 in
Also,
the morning or
the cr-
something?
I don't think
Something.
so. It was pretty late, I think.
Oh.
But yeah, I had to like yeah, that sucked.
I feel like you could have got the opportunity to like do a little sue if you were able to do that. If you got food poisoning from Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think the only thing I like about Pizza
Also,
Hut was
the crust was like
cheese.
sweet. What the fuck?
Yeah, I think they had too much sugar in their crust.
I had Pizza Hut yesterday. It's better in the UK, and so's Domino's and KFC. They're better in the UK, I think, in my opinion.
America, don't put sugar into everything challenge. Impossible.
It's really funny
You know-
that you bring up that pizza because just last night I happened to watch that old Onion segment called Domino's will test the limits of what humans will eat.
Oh, nice.
Of just like the joke of them just making increasingly disturbing pizzas and people will just keep coming.
Yeah, why not?
Common
I fall for the novelty items all
I mean,
the
yeah,
time.
they're not
I
wrong.
have this weird thing of like whenever there's like a weird fast food item at a place, I just have to try it out just out of curiosity. I tried out the SpongeBob Wendy's meal. It's
Was it
just a
shit?
Dave Sing. It's just a Dave single one with some like I guess like Thousand Island dressing on it, and then
That's
the
what
fries
it
are
is.
normal, and then the pineapple flavored Frosty was surprisingly not bad for what it was. Though it is just a vanilla Frosty with some pineapple syrup on
That
it, nothing
sounds
special,
all
but
right.
it's actually not that bad. I know that there's another gross food item at Burger King. There's like I'm not gonna
Oh
take
yeah,
the
Burger
profile
King
pic,
sucks.
Yeah, it's
but
awful.
Burger
is-
King foot lettuce.
Did you even
We're
hear
talking
about
about how
the
Burger King is doing like I don't know their
When-
first time where they
they're
just
doing
dye
a
the bread.
They're doing a
an Adams Family meal at Burger King?
Yeah, that one.
They're doing an Adams
Whose
Family thing with like the
mic
purple
is
Whopper.
fucked right now?
Yeah.
I don't know whose mic is fucked. Is it
You
mine?
sound
No.
you sound fine, Beth.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't
Burger
think it's
King
you.
foot fetish.
Oh.
Well,
Jay, can you say something?
Burger King foot fetish.
Oh,
Is
it's
there something
Rishi.
wrong with my mic right now?
Oh, is it Rishi? Okay, Rishi.
Oh,
Rishi, your mic is having some issues.
Oh, fine.
let me fix that. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not mine.
But yeah,
is,
I don't know,
I'm
it's just-
making
it's just-
sure
it's
my
just a,
snake isn't
a
messing
weird-
with it.
Is it better now?
I feel like
It's
I'm in a
much better
COD
now, thank
lobby.
you.
It's just- yeah, I don't know. Oh, sorry. You know what? I think I'm done talking now.
Do you feel nostalgic,
Hmm.
Olivia?
Oh, I didn't really play Call of Duty. I only played like a little bit of it.
But
and I
did you
just-
at least? But at least you're not stupid enough to pull an Aiden Ross to spend $5K to play a game that you can't fucking play yet, right?
Well, Aiden Ross is like actually an idiot.
What did he do?
Oh
He
yeah, he
spent-
spent $5,000 to get early access to the newest Black Ops game, but
Yeah.
it's not out yet, so the servers aren't up. So he paid $5,000 for a game he couldn't play.
He's gonna run
Oh, yeah.
around on the
It
servers
comes out
all alone.
today.
Yeah,
Well,
that-
not today.
That's
could've
fucking
waited one
Aiden
more
Ross
day.
for you, the guy who was like, "What's this word? Faxism?"
Oh. Yeah, he's dumb.
He's
Mm.
one of the dumbest
Or,
people
like,
I've seen in a
absolute
long time.
brainlets.
The sad thing is though that he could absolutely spend 5,000 and like, oh well, okay, that was
Yeah,
just,
that's like 5
a
cents to
oopsie for
him.
him.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
That's the really sad thing.
Nice.
Good background, Jay.
Thank you.
Rishi, what's up?
So, Adam, you know how you mentioned in both your Sardonicast reviews, like some of your platforms on how many people should not see Megalopolis? It's a scam film.
I did say that, yes.
Well, too
True.
late. A couple weeks ago, I saw it, and
Mhm.
while my thoughts are neutral on it, it is bad.
It's
It is
terrible.
Very, very bad.
Yeah, it's pretty
It's just-
shit.
Yeah.
So shall one of us, shall plow through the riches of Francis Ford Coppola's Emersonian mind.
How about you go back to the club?
I mean, it's cool that some people are able to find some meme-worthy moments from it, I guess, but like it's so
just very-
long.
Mostly just find it funny that it exists.
Yeah, we have what?
And the
Back
fact
to the
that-
Club, and then like what else? Like, what
Also,
else from
and
it?
the fact that a DreamWorks movie beat it at the box office, like the box office for that film is horrid. Probably the worst one I've ever seen. It's like $7 million against a $120 million budget.
Yeah, I
it's
especially
not like
don't
anyone's gonna
feel
watch it
bad
anyway.
when Coppola is like an absolute fucking creep.
It could
What
also
do you
be
mean?
worse.
Yeah.
It could be
What do I
like,
mean?
it could be like
First
Judge
off,
Dredd.
he defended Victor Salva, a fucking pedophile,
Pedophile,
and then he
yeah.
like sexually harassed a bunch of dancers on the set of Megalopolis.
Yeah.
He's
Like,
gonna sue you for libel now.
What's
Oh,
he
he
supposed
can.
to?
What
Oh,
Francis-
yeah.
what
Okay.
Francis
Yeah,
Ford-
there's fucking footage of it, but whatever.
What's he supposed to be like in his 90s or like have dementia or something? Or I don't know.
He's
like, be old
85.
now?
He's older than Joe Biden somehow. So
I mean, the last time I checked, he seemed fine. He didn't seem like he was going through a Joe Biden phase.
Yeah, didn't he
He's
blacklist
never.
Victor
He's just
Salva's
kind of
victim
always
from,
been a
like,
shit
Hollywood?
person.
He did.
Like-
Tate.
Well,
Like Victor Salva
the thing
was a
is
fucking while
about
ago.
about the footage that was found on that. What Francis Ford Coppola should have realized is that this isn't the 70s. This is the 2020s. Like the stuff that happened back then just doesn't fly anymore.
It
And
didn't
plus,
fly then
the
really
actors,
either.
the actors can feel themselves naturally in the club. They don't need any of that.
In the club.
Yeah, let me just point out that like Francis Ford Coppola said, "Oh, Victor was practically a child himself at the time."
Oh, did
Victor
he?
was 12.
What?
Victor
Do we have
was
a
like
do we have a
in his
source for that? Because
20s.
I've been looking for
I'll
kind
have
of
to
more.
find it. Hold on.
And
Is
this,
that a
well,
legit quote?
all of that, well, that is one reason why this film is awful, and it feels very. I thought that it was going to be like M. Night Shyamalan Split, where he made a good movie back in the day, and then he's going to like bring that good movie back in the day to life, but just absolutely puzzling, given the fact that this was made during the time where he made some of the best, most inspirational movies ever. Apocalypse
written,
Now, The Godfather,
yeah.
Conversation, and I even liked his take on Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula. And before I continue on, Adam, I know the one policy of the Hangouts is to not spoil certain parts of films, but given the fact that you said that no one should see this film, can I spoil some parts?
If we
of
have
it?
Can you
permission from
spoil
everyone in the
it?
chat, I
Can
don't
you
even know if it's
spoil
possible to spoil
Megalopolis?
Megalopolis.
Sure.
What the
I'm
fuck
fine with it.
happened?
I don't think anybody who
Sure.
wanted to see it, I think, has already seen it.
I don't care. I don't care personally.
Yeah.
Pretentious
Actually-
bullshit.
I mean,
Well,
I've seen it, but you can
that's
spoil
the
anyways.
that's the reason I saw this movie, just so none of you, the people who are watching and the people who are in the YouTube chat don't have to watch it. So I think the biggest reason why this movie failed so hard is the execution and the fact that it cannot focus on its main central storyline, and the stuff that happened around just doesn't have to do with the main central storyline, that being a conflict between an ambitious architect and a tunnel vision thinking mayor. And like, for example, during the Colosseum scene, like there's this part where we get introduced to a pop star played by Grace Vanderwall of America's Got Talent fame.
And Daniel
what the
Larson's
heck's
girlfriend, if he had a chance.
Well, I've heard some shady stuff about that, but we must focus on the movie for now. Like, there is this part where she gets outed as not being no longer a virgin, and then during the part and after that scene is over, things go from like Art Deco wondrous Roman inspired, to a punk rock music video where Grace Vanderwaal's character is just like in her Miley Cyrus JoJo Siwa phase, which I kind of get the point in which that she's no longer a virgin, but it hasn't been built up in any way, and it has nothing. And it's not like the fact that Grace Vanderwaal's character was one of the so many celebrities who supported Caesar Catalina, and her being out as a virgin puts more damage towards Catalina's reputation. Or if the punk rock music and the pop music was playing natural, like diegetically in the background at like a street stall or something, then it would at least make sense. But no, it just plays on in the background with no reason, build up, or anything.
It was excruciating.
Yeah, and I just want to do a quick rant shout out at the visual effects. And honestly, Superman's lip from Justice League was more realistic than those visual effects. What the hell was Coppola even thinking of firing a visual effects team?
He fired them?
No, he never understand digital visual effects, whereas Dracula, he basically did impossible old school practical effects.
So
Maybe
Adam,
it was just a hack.
Adam, I sent you a Telegram message with the article from the Los Angeles Times. Coppola was on hand for some of the filming of Clown House, since it was made in part at Coppola's home in Napa Valley. I didn't know of anything improper going on, although I witnessed some things that caused me to raise an eyebrow, he says. Only in retrospect did things really add up. You have to remember, while this was a tragedy, that the difference in age between Victor and the boy was very small. Victor was practically a child himself. Salvo was 29. His victim was 12 years old.
What the fuck?
Oh,
that's kind of funny.
Screw you.
Okay,
Screw
yep.
you, Coppola.
Fuck Coppola.
Yeah, what a
He's an old.
what a
He's an old.
dingus.
He's an old man, so it kind of makes
Adam.
sense.
I'm just surprised Victor Salvalon still managed to make work with, even before Jeepers Creepers, he made Powder, which I believe was a subdivision of Disney.
Speaking of old creeps, you guys heard the news about Harvey Weinstein?
Yeah, he has cancer.
Oh, what a shame.
Big yay moment.
Death
Oh no.
to him.
Anyway.
You know, there was we're talking about old people, bad people getting what they deserve. There was Harvey Weinstein getting cancer, and then there was Rudy Giuliani recently getting his entire penthouse seized by the government, and then there was what else was? I know Shark went over a bunch of the bad stuff. Tim Pool leaving his podcast technically, and then there's other ones I'm blanking on.
Tim Pool's hiding something.
Yeah,
his
also,
explanation doesn't make any sense.
Asset.
Yeah, when I saw him saying "Oh, I might not be doing the show anymore, so I can go pursue a family that I don't have yet."
Yeah, he doesn't have a family.
Yeah, that I don't know how much I believe his official explanation. I'm is he getting investigated harder for the Russia stuff? And he's
I hope so.
Maybe he's if I stop the show, they'll stop investigating me. I don't know what's happening.
He's an absolute fucking clown.
I mean, considering it's been exposed that he's getting money from the Russians, I think there'd be a good enough reason to suspect or investigate him more and more, right?
Also, the new Norm is Russian funded, which is funny.
Yeah, they So have they how many episodes have they made? Because
one.
Well, I don't know, because they say that it's if you pay on their Twitter, then you get episodes or something.
They have little shorts where they just take viral shit and then just post the black guy character with an AI voice.
Because they say
I don't know if they have other episodes though.
There's a new episode featuring Putin. Well, look at their Twitter. It's posted October 24th.
Oops.
Oh.
But it's how many episodes exist? Are they only if you subscribe on X? Should I find a tortilla for the new Norm?
Speaking of
Thank
snakes,
God for Elon Musk. And his
speaking of snakes, speaking of snakes, do you guys want to see something really cool?
Oh,
Yes.
That is
Oh,
a
who's
snake
that?
X-ray. It's a Cardicarus snake. I found it on his
Oh shit.
Instagram.
That's nice.
It's an
Oh.
X-ray of a snake. Yeah, X-ray. It's really cool.
Rishi,
Do you
did
know-
you have something else?
And I do want to add. I wanted to add more on the Megalopolis conversation, and then just two more, and then but you diverge from another topic. I do want to also mention that what's even more puzzling about the film is that some of the stuff that happened on set, excluding the very suspicious stuff that he did with the extras, because there's no way he's bouncing back from that. Also happened on Apocalypse Now, and at times on the set of his take on Bram Stoker's Dracula, and yet those movies set it up as a big success. And while this, I think overall, I think the film will be like end up many in the future like a combination of Showgirls and Ang Lee's take on the Hulk, where many people will look at this back in the future and be like, no, wait a minute. He actually meant to do that on purpose.
I mean,
And the
there's
fact
already
that it
people
has-
kind of doing that.
yeah.
yeah,
Also, people are doing
and the
people are
fact
doing
that it
the same
has
thing
many
with, people are doing the same
and
thing
the-
with like Jennifer's Body right now, and that film
Mm.
set eggs.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
not
about
good.
that rating you
Bisexual.
gave to Jennifer's Body, Adam, the horror community and the LGBTQ plus community will come right for your ass. They'll
Yeah.
like hang your ass on the wall like they'll do with deer's heads.
Yes.
And
And it's just my ass.
yes,
They're gonna chop off your butt like that one SpongeBob episode.
Yes.
period. And also, I do want to mention, like I also mentioned Ang Lee's Hulk because this film does have a lot of interesting elements, in my opinion, ranging from its philosophy to the interesting the three split screen, like triple split screen technique, the some of the practical effects, particularly the ones with the crumbling statues and the green screen effect, like the pillar effect was kind of nice, and the fourth wall breaking moment, which I know you mentioned was done really horribly, but I thought it was very cool.
I mean, at
I'm
least
sure
Ang Lee's
they'll-
Hulk was interesting. Like, I'd watch that again.
Exactly, but I'm
It was
sure
funny.
those interesting elements will be done in much other better films. It will be kind of like I mentioned Ang Lee's Hulk because it had very interesting ideas in terms of storytelling with the comic book Spider-Verse style, but all of that unfortunately would have to come from a rocky start. Yeah. And speaking of infamous people, you forgot to mention one person. I know he's been talked to death, and he's even like an idiom now. P. Diddy.
Oh
Uh-oh.
boy.
The Diddler.
God, the rabbit hole
Diddler.
goes deep,
Mr.
like an
Baby
Alice in
Oil.
Wonderland rabbit hole. Like, this is crazy.
He pretty much makes Michael Jackson seem tamer compared to P. Diddy.
I
Yeah, he's a freak. What's there to say?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
call
Was
him
that it,
fun.
Rishi?
Oh, just one more. Given another, okay, I'll probably just do one more. Then I'll probably pass the conversation to someone else. And for this next one that also flopped at the box office hard, and which I kind of liked better than Megalopolis, all I can say is I have to issue a massive apology to Ralph Sepe if he's ever watching this chat right now.
probably not.
And it's this. Maybe you were onto something about Joker Baby Folle Adieu. Cause I should have known that this sequel was going to be bullshit.
I'm
But
excited
look,
to see it. but
It's
I'll
coming out
At
additional
least
next
with
week.
Megalopolis,
Exactly.
I liked it better than Megalopolis because at least with Joker Folie à Deux, they had a tone and they stuck with it, in which it was a dark, grungy jukebox musical. Unlike what's the case with Megalopolis, which needs to flip flop in and around itself.
Mhm.
And once again, the problem with Joker Folie à Deux being its execution and it being a sequel to Joker, a film that I'm sure everyone in this chat right now has a lot of differing thoughts on it, mostly negative, some positive. And Joaquin Phoenix does a good job. Lady Gaga does a good job, and and I feel like when it taps into the fact that it's a comic book jukebox musical, well, it is kind of fun, and there are some narrative and character choices that I found a little bit puzzling, which I'm not going to spoil anyways, but I feel like I liked it as its own thing than a lot of people, because I feel like the thing is with this movie and the Super Mario Brothers movie from 93, people seem to hate on it hard because they hold it up next to its source material or the film that came before it and not view it as its own thing. As its own thing, it's good, but as a sequel to Joker, not so much.
Mhm.
And I feel like was the case with Warner Brothers, the success of Joker should have probably led to the way to other character Gotham City Batman villain anti-hero films in different inspired cinematic styles from different directors, like a Colleen Farragher directed Catwoman film, or a Julia Ducournau Poison Ivy film, or a Rose Glass Harley Quinn film.
Although
Those
I would
ideas would have
argue
been
that those
good.
directors are doing so much better things that they shouldn't do superhero movies.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a rumor that like Luca Guadagnino working on a like DC film or something, but that turned out to be not true or something?
Yeah,
I could be wrong
idea.
about that. Well, if he does something, I'd be curious if he does a superhero film just because I like him enough. But I'm not like that. The only superhero stuff I care about is either funny bad stuff like Madame Web or really really good stuff like Spider-Verse. You know, like I can't stand like anything in between that's like either boring or just
Yeah,
mediocre.
there's like a couple superhero characters that I'll like maybe watch. Like I like Spider-Man. I'm like I'll watch any Spider-Man movie probably. But
It's
that's
kind of
about
funny
it.
that this is like the fourth time from Warner Brothers where it's a sequel to a superhero film that make $1 billion, and yet the sequels that came out afterwards are either underperforming or bombing, and it's all post COVID, if I were to guess.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, Adam, quick question. I've been noticing on the YouTube VOD, like, the stream went down for a sec, but then, like, the first 30 to 40 minutes of the YouTube thing is just, like, I try rewinding the YouTube VOD of the stream that's on right now, and you just can't access it. I don't know what happened. Did YouTube glitch? Your end glitch?
I don't know. Is it still going?
It's still going, but just like the first like 30 to 40 minutes of this hangout, like on YouTube, it's just no longer there.
Oh, I don't know. I must have dropped something.
Okay,
Maybe it split it into two VODs for some reason.
Speaking of the food poisoning thing that Olivia got, it's funny that she mentioned that earlier because I actually got food poisoning recently. I went to a local kebab place in my city, and oh shit, and I did get food poisoning from it. I ate it, and then I was sick at 3 a.m. Randomly sick at 3 a.m.
I've only gotten food poisoning once, and it was from a salad that I made myself.
Good work.
You can sue yourself, Adam.
Yeah. And then I had to watch all the Shrek movies
Yeah.
while I was fucking high with a fever.
Beth, was it
What
like
was your favorite?
food poisoning, or was it like Triangle of Sadness food poisoning?
It was like it's like a takeaway place kebab. I bought chicken from that place, and I basically threw up at 3 a.m. after eating it.
Oh.
Hewlett
I'm
fan,
sorry.
what's up?
Oh, right. Yeah, I was just gonna. My question was more like what Rishi was gonna say. I was just gonna ask her. Oh, had you seen Joker 2 yet?
I
But
will be watching the digital version for a watch along.
Adam,
I
actually,
will.
can I hit? Oh,
Sorry, I will mention real quick. It is rather glorious that Megalopolis got beaten by a animated DreamWorks film, and Joker Folie à Deux got beaten by an independent horror gore splatterfest. Aside from a couple examples of box office bombs that didn't deserve to get bombed this year, it really feels like cinema is healing in a way.
Mhm.
These are good steps to follow through with.
And it all started because of a coronavirus from China.
Yeah.
I could say that
Yeah,
though.
so I'm gonna be. There's like a good chunk of movies that like in any other circumstance I would probably be rushing to see it in a theater that I'm probably just gonna wait for digital for. So Joker's one of
They
them.
just announced The Apprentice is going to come out on digital November 1st, literally like right before the election. So maybe you can do a watch along
I'm
of
gonna write that
that.
on my calendar right now.
I had duck for dinner today.
Nice one.
I was worried. I was worried I was gonna have to go see it in theaters, but now I can just watch it.
I saw The Apprentice in theaters. It was fine. I gave it like a 6 out of 10. I like the acting. I like the cinematography. The writing got really annoying at points, but my biggest problem also is that it didn't really have much to say about, like, it doesn't treat Trump as like a good person by any means, but it didn't really have that much to say about Trump himself, you know?
All right, I wrote that on my calendar. So yeah, the
I honestly, sorry, my apologies. I honestly thought based on the trailer and the director, it would be more of like an American Psycho thing, where it's satirization. It kind of terrifying more in a psychological sense rather than like a physical visual sense.
yeah, so just yeah, I'll be doing Joker 2 digital. I wonder how soon Venom will be out on digital, because right now I'm just like, there's other videos that I'm kind of like wanting my editors to focus on right now, the Adam and Pal stuff, and also I'm still like unpacking and organizing and rearranging my room. So I'm like, yeah, kinda,
I've been busy as
this
well.
year is a very busy one for me.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel yeah. The last movie I saw was The Apprentice, like just because I needed to kill time for something. But there have been a lot of movies that I've been avoiding in theaters just because I've been busy and stuff. There's 2 movies out in my local theater that I'm debating seeing. One of them is Conclave, which is that like Pope film that people are saying is supposedly like really really good. Or I could see We Live in Time, that Andrew Garfield Florence Pugh romance film. And I'm debating
The
which
one
one I
with the
should
funny
see.
horse on the poster.
Yeah, and I'm really debating which one I should see. Jay, I'm in your chat. What did you what are you trying to say about previews in The Apprentice?
I was talking if you saw any previews for The Apprentice because it was under the Briarcliff Entertainment, and I was going to send you a link about this trailer that they were previewing.
Is it Werewolves?
Yeah, that one.
Yep, they did. They played it at my screening.
I think there's one movie that I might go out of my way to see in a theater right now, and it's probably Memoir of a Snail.
Oh yeah, that comes out in my theater on November 8th, so I'll see that for sure.
I might have to drive to Seattle to see it.
I might be also planning to see Smile 2, Conclave, and Your Monster with Melissa Barrera.
Adam.
And then
Memoirs of a Snail again?
Sorry?
Who directed Memoirs of a Snail again?
Adam Elliott. Marion Max.
The Marion Max
guy.
dude.
Oh, him, Marion Max, the
And
animator.
Yeah,
Harvey
and you know,
Trumpet, I think.
Yep.
Awesome.
Exactly.
And you know, the film Conclave, which based on the trailers looked a lot more engaging filmmaking and cinematography wise, and given the fact that it's mostly involving drama within the Vatican, what are your, if any of you all have seen it or have seen the trailers, what are your thoughts on this?
I have not seen it yet.
And it's from,
I haven't seen it.
and it's from the director, same director as All Quiet on the Western Front, which I know you didn't like, but this one seems to be a little bit more interesting, and I think it allows more of his filmmaking to shine.
It kind of looks like a political thriller, but set in a church, from what I've seen.
Yeah. And speaking of We Live in a Time, I thought that, well, funny horse poster aside, I thought the film was one of the most mature, patient, natural, romantic comedies that I've only seen in a long time. Especially many months ago when I saw the horrendous Anyone But You. This one felt like a breath of fresh air. Well, that is until probably when I see Anora. What are all of your thoughts on the film?
I don't know if I'd call Anora a romantic comedy, but
I'm
gonna
seeing
see
Anora
Anora
next
in
week.
November.
Already?
I'm
I got a
seeing
ticket for
Anora
that.
on November 1st, I believe.
I'm
Yeah.
having
so
a
that'll
hard
be
time
fun.
finding showtimes for Nora, but maybe will come after Halloween is my guess.
I mean, yeah, it should get a wide-ish release.
It's getting a whitish release on like literally the first weekend of November, so that's happening. And then I think Memoir of a Snail and the new Steve McQueen Blitz are both coming out not far from me on November 8th.
Well,
And
what are all of your thoughts on We Live in a Time, though?
I haven't
Never
seen
I don't
it
think
yet.
anybody in this
haven't
chat
seen
has
it.
seen it except you.
I'm sorry.
Well,
I've been
Well, I
busy. I'm
thought-
sorry.
Oh,
well, if you want like a good, beautiful, natural looking romantic comedy, this I would say, give this one a watch and form your own opinions over it.
I'm giving it a hard maybe eventually, but I'm not gonna rush to see it. If it gets
I
an
assume
Oscar
the
nom,
romantic
then
comedy
maybe.
is just going to have a bunch of familiar tropes that we've seen a dozen times before, right?
yeah.
Well, the romantic comedy is more like one that's romantic, and with parts that are romantic, comedic, and at times dramatic and heartfelt. Like that's what I see. Sometimes they use the tropes, other times they subvert the tropes. Sometimes they go off a different path with the tropes, like with When Harry Met Sally.
And sometimes you
It
put
can-
this sort of genre to an old television that's made for old people and have it running for like a month before it dies down.
I'm
I
Hewitt
guess-
fan,
But yeah,
your
I
hand
still
is
have.
raised. So
Yeah, I had more to say. Yeah. Yeah. As I was saying, are there any particular like standout releases each year? Because like I'm surprised like there were like big meme films that came out a few years ago, like things like I'm surprised you never reviewed something like Batman versus Superman in 2016, or like big releases like Sausage Party at their time, or like Wonder Woman. I know like you limit like to what
Wonder
big-
Woman was a meme film?
I'm sure it kind of was, but like
Not
I just
really.
find getting-
Not really.
It was. I am always. Whenever there's something that looks really uninteresting, and it's like a superhero movie or whatever slop type thing, and then people are like, "Oh, this one's like actually good." That means it's not good.
Yeah. But like I mean,
so I didn't watch it, and I'm never gonna watch it. I don't care.
Sure. Famously critical films like you did eventually. I'm shocked that you even reviewed the full cut of Justice League many years later, because like you had like I thought you would have at least checked out the original Justice League just to shit on it, but like yeah.
I mean, it depends on what I'm doing at the time, and a lot of times I'm busy out doing other things,
yeah, of course.
and I just don't. Like, I have to choose my battles, right?
Yeah, I do feel tempted almost to see like is Megalopolis at least like amusingly bad? Like I know you said that it was like one of the worst experiences you'd like had in a theater for just like a film, but like I don't know. I do possibly agree that some people said it was like a $100 million Neil Breen film.
I mean, I guess you're just
Something
gonna
like
have to
that.
watch it.
Yeah.
So you'll probably be confused and might say it has a convoluted story from beginning to end.
The Neil Breen film in the sense that the main character is like totally not a self-insert Mary Sue for the director.
Yeah, I don't know. Is the film at least the film kind of looks pretty from what
No.
I've seen? Oh,
No, it's not pretty. The
No.
VFX are bad.
Oh,
Like-
okay. I've just seen.
The
I've seen,
practical
like, flashes
effects
of it.
are range from good to decent, ranging from the statues, the silhouettes of the people seeing the satellite crash, and the beam one and the clock one that combines practical with green screen. That's good. But the other one, I will say it before and I will say it again.
Aren't you forgetting the part
Superman's
where
lip
at
in
the
Justice League looked more realistic than those visual effects.
you're
There
forgetting
are-
the part from like the Coliseum part where there's a bunch of random dancing scenes or acting scenes that's going on there.
Mhm.
There are bad films that like at least look good. Like Tron Legacy, for example. I think that film looks good even if it's bad.
And it's from the same director as Top Gun Maverick. I might have
Oh.
to give that film a watch.
I didn't know that. What's the worst cartoon you guys have ever seen?
Cartoon in terms of what? Just like writing.
Any the first cartoon that comes to your mind, whether it be movie or series.
For me,
Probably one to shit on would either have to be Food Fight or every single Illumination Entertainment film ever made. And Adam,
Agreed.
when I saw your thoughts on the Super Mario Brothers movie or Migration, all I just wanted to say is, what were you even expecting, Adam? It's an Illumination Entertainment movie. They're all gonna be like that.
I was with a friend that wanted to see it, so
I wouldn't say Illumination's the worst. I think they're just very, very bland.
Yeah,
It's-
they make safe movies is the
Yeah,
whole thing.
it's so hard to say. Like, I don't know. They've made. I don't know. Like, I think their worst one is kind of like the Lorax, because they fucked up so much shit with that, and like the film isn't meant to be anti-capitalist yet. The Illumination are literally the once-ler, and the film was like a tie-in.
I think Shark Tale and Shrek the Third are worse. Like the Illumination movies are bad, don't get me wrong, but they're not like insultingly, bafflingly bad as those films. Like Shark Tale is just like, you know, like a Will Smith self-masturbatory job for like Will Smith to stroke his fucking ego on.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
Shrek the Third, Justin Timberlake as like Arthur, you're welcome. And
I do
the-
like- I
Sing
do-
Kill My Grandma.
I do like
Oh.
the line. I do like the line. Help! I'm being chased by a monster that's trying to relate to me. I like that line though. That's one of the only things I like about that film.
Yeah,
Mm.
and I don't know. I kind of like John Cleese in the film as that one wizard. He's kind of funny, but that's
That's
Eric
John-
Idle.
Eric
Oh,
Idle.
that's Idle, sorry,
Eric Idle.
John
I
Cleese
haven't
was
seen
like-
Shrek the Third in a while. I don't know if I wanna.
Oh,
Bad.
you know what? I got it. I got another one. Disney's Wish. Like,
I haven't seen
I
that.
still think Shark.
Yeah, I wouldn't say
Shark
it's
Tale is
bad.
still
It's just
worse.
kind of
oh, it's bad. It's
mediocre
just-
at
There's
best.
much worse.
it's nothing.
There was a worse Disney
that
movie
film
that
is
year.
nothing.
Yeah, Elemental was way
Elemental
worse.
was
Yeah.
Oh,
fucking
Chicken Little?
insulting.
That's also pretty fucking awful.
I think
And I
Ralph-
was honestly, sorry, I was honestly
okay.
shocked that during your Oscar review, Adam, that you thought Wish was better than Elemental.
Why?
The bar is really that low for you, huh?
What do you mean?
What do you
Wish
mean?
is better than Elemental.
Yeah.
Elemental is a worse movie.
Elemental is
We're gonna go with
insanely
Disney.
bland and
If
just
we're gonna
like
say which is the
soulless.
worst, if we're gonna say
I
which
think-
is the worst Disney movie, like, or at least worst Disney animated movie,
The Lion
I don't know
King.
if it would be Elemental.
Yep.
Probably Cars 2.
Which one?
Just the Lion King.
I have a take.
in my in my opinion, like the worst Disney movie is probably Ralph Breaks the Internet, and this comes from someone who likes Brother Bear.
I forget if I even tried watching that.
Ralph Breaks the
You
Internet. is
rated
just-
it.
I must
You
have tried
rated it.
watching it.
You gave it like
It's-
a 3.
It represents everything to
Three
hate
is
about
too
Disney.
generous.
Also, there's a cameo from everyone's favorite YouTuber, Colleen Ballinger.
Oh yeah.
Yay!
Oh, wait a minute.
Yay!
The emoji movie.
Like, I know this one. I got another one. I kind of mentioned it before, but we didn't talk about it. I know this one's a pretty easy punching bag, but Food Fight.
I haven't
Yep.
seen it yet.
Yeah, Food Fight. Oh, and like
Yeah.
I said,
Absolutely the worst. And definitely the perfect film to laugh at. Laugh at and shame at.
yeah.
Kind
Hey,
of like
Olivia.
Catwoman.
Olivia, have you seen it?
I would watch
Food
and
Fight.
admire
I've
Food
seen
Fight.
reviews of it.
I
I
Yeah.
would watch
wouldn't
Food
necessarily want to recommend, or like in terms of throwing out bad things, I wouldn't want to like point people in the direction of a porn film necessarily. But Tarzoon, Shame of the Jungle, that might be the worst anime movie I've ever seen in my life. Like
Well.
it tries to be funny. It's horrible. I mean, like obviously it's a porn parody, so it's like not, you wouldn't expect it to have the best writing, but even like the humor in it is horrible. The animation is like so unbelievably cheap. Saber Spark covered it a couple years ago, I think. That's
Your
how I found
snake-
out about it, and it's
Your s-
horrible, 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 horrible. And I
Yeah,
also
speaking
have,
of Saber Spark, I feel like in terms of worst anime film, I feel like that belongs to what was that film called? Leo the Lion, the one that's basically what if we tell the Ten Commandments, but told by a lion and it's all furry.
Oh, you're thinking of Joshua and the Promised Land.
Yeah, I don't know why I confused that. Joshua and the Promised Land.
No,
promise
Leo the
you.
Lion is the one where
He's a
they
vegetarian.
try to like pin down like some other animal to drink its milk.
like I promise you that those are better than Tarzoon, because you could at least laugh at those. Tarzoon is just like, it's not funny in a bad way or anything like that. It's just awful.
So is Joshua and the Promised Land because it's basically just a boring retelling of the Ten Commandments with like very
it
bad
has-
animation.
It was made by one
you
guy,
could get humor
though.
out of that animation, though. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Your snake is
For me,
sleepy.
it's
Kinda,
still
yeah.
Shark Tale. It's still Shark Tale because it's like they still managed to make a big project that should have bombed, but it still made a lot of money. And it's a cynical cash grab from like DreamWorks that they were trying to cash in, like, you know, Finding Nemo that came out a year before it, and the god awful the god awful character designs, especially like the Will Smith fish. Like, just fuck that film. I hate it so much.
I honestly think the
I hope
character design is like the least bad part of Shark Tale after I
Yeah, agreed.
rewatched it
It's
recently.
It's
And
the ugliest fucking movie. It's the ugliest
it's
fucking
not,
movie ever.
I don't think it's like,
it's not the ugliest ever. I'll
It's
tell you
not
that.
the ugliest.
Not to mention with
absolutely
the
not.
inclusion of
The-
Martin Scorsese as the puffer fish, and him and Robert De Niro have this end scene where they battle each other with the yos. What was that about?
Also,
Scorsese
was
being in
Martin
the movie is so
Scorsese in that
weird.
film?
It
Yeah.
is strange.
Why the hell did he voice a pufferfish?
Best cameo since he was in Campus Code.
No, his
They had
campus cameo
that
is the best
fucking
thing.
cost for it.
I can say, like, at least it sounds like the voice actors are having a good time in that film. Like, the voice acting is decent, in my opinion.
Yeah. There are. I don't know. I think it's entertainingly terrible or whatever. It's got like sort of like people are obsessed with it. You
It
know,
was nominated for an Oscar like same year as Shrek 2.
and this was the early 2000s, and like there were so few animated films being released. I think almost like every fucking film got like an Oscar nomination back then.
Yeah, I think it was only 3 at a time before they move up to 5, I believe.
Jay, what's up?
Is it? Sorry.
Jay, what's up?
Gosh, it was such a while ago since we were talking about like
Mhm.
Joker. But I was gonna bring up that I and for many other people have been really enjoying the spin-off show The Penguin on HBO. I wouldn't give it immensely. I don't think it's the best thing ever made, as a lot of people are saying it is. I think it's just for the track record of superhero properties we've had, and for movies that claim that like we have a villain character. Wow, your snake is getting really close.
Ah.
The tongue.
She likes to give kisses.
Many kisses. Many.
I'm not
snake
trying to
kisses.
interrupt. This is just what she's doing.
Snake.
That is all right.
Snake kisses.
I say the Penguin accomplishes a lot, and yeah, in terms of the animated film talk, I think every single film is able to be judged and liked, regardless of the quality. Um, it's a very simple, just non-biased take, but I think it's just true that if you like any film, anything is worth criticizing or analyzing. Right?
Mhm.
If I could say words correctly. But yeah, just saying those two things before I forget entirely, and yeah.
All right, thank you. Max.
My ex.
Are you
Um,
Mariox?
Now
it's
that's a
Wolfie
great
Dog.
animated film.
Hello, is this Chris? Is this Chris Hansen?
Snake,
So I
you crawl
know.
around to be around these parts, Goofy. Why'd you have a seat right
So-
over there, please?
So
No,
I know.
let me.
I know
I'm
you.
sorry.
I know you have this film as one of your some of your favorite films of all time, Adam. But are you familiar with John Carpenter's Apocalypse trilogy?
As in, like, the escape from New York and stuff,
No,
or
more
is there
like
something
The
else?
Thing,
Oh,
Prince of Darkness, and In the Mouth of Madness.
I've only seen one of them.
One of them, that being The Thing.
Yes,
Okay.
It's your favorite
I
horror
would.
movie, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I believe so.
I like The
Well,
Shining more, but The Thing's cool.
The Thing's awesome. I love The Thing. It's one of my favorite movies from my childhood of all time, one of my favorite horror films of all time, and one of my favorite John Carpenter movies of all time. In terms of the Apocalypse trilogy, um, now that you've already seen The Thing, I would probably recommend In the Mouth of Madness second and
Mm-hmm.
Prince of Darkness last. Prince of Darkness to me isn't a really good. If we're gonna put like the Apocalypse trilogy in order, it's not as good of a film as The Thing is, and plus in terms of like characterizations and a lot of like atmosphere and horror concept, it just doesn't really hit the right notes. Where I feel like In the Mouth of Madness does utilize like the whole vibe of like In the Mouth of Madness is it's basically like John Carpenter's version of what like a H.P. Lovecraft story like In the Mountains of Madness or Cthulhu would be like, but in like a retelling in like a sort of like Stephen King sort of like
Mm-hmm.
setting as well. And Sam Neill is the main actor of the film, so of course he carries the whole film with like his performance.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, atmosphere wise, it really utilizes that sort of like Lovecraftian sort of like abomination, sort of like horror and creature effects to such a substantial level, like nearly in par with The Thing. Yeah, so
I'll check
I'd
it out at
recommend
some
that
point.
movie a bit more. Yeah,
I
it's
would
quite fun.
say personally that In the Mouth of Madness feels kind of like if John Carpenter directed Possession.
Yeah, it really does. And it helps that Sam Neill is in it too.
Yeah, that's like my main connection to it. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I remember
Yeah.
enjoying it.
It,
Do you
it
guys?
feels just as insane and fucked up and, borderline oppressive as Possession does. Especially in terms of like the linear kind of like narrative and perspective that the film has with its story and sort of like surreal imagery as Possession does. Possession, in comparison, turns it up to 11 even more. In the Mouth of Madness will probably be like a slightly safer version of Possession, but it's still a really good like you know crazy horror film that is sort of like in the vein of like Possession as well, and having
That's
that sort of like Lovecraftian influence as well.
that's one remake I'm not looking forward to.
Yeah,
Oh god, yeah, the one directed by the Smile guy.
Yeah. See,
I
if it
don't
was
think he's
Luca
gonna pull it
Guadagnino,
off.
then I'd be like a bit more optimistic. Possession is something where it's like, I don't know how you could remake it.
Because Luca as well, he directed the remake of Suspiria, which apparently is really good. I
Mhm.
still have to see both films.
Yeah,
Get
I like
Damien
Luca's
Leone
I'd
to
be
one.
remake
really looking
Possession
forward to
so
watching
there
the
could be
remake.
no studio interference.
Probably.
Uh,
You just hired Damien Leone as the special effects for the Possession remake.
Also, I just learned that The Thing was nominated for a Razzie for Worst Musical Score.
It was.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't know that?
the Razzies.
I might have known it and forgot it. I don't know.
Yeah,
The
and
Raz-
also Shelley Duvall and Stanley Kubrick for The Shining.
That's
Shining.
Shelley
yeah.
Duvall is really mean spirited, I believe.
The Razzies suck.
Yeah.
Except for when
It's-
Tom Green accepted all of his. That was cool.
Yeah.
He
don't forget.
accepting
I think
defeat
Halle
in style.
Berry- Didn't Halle Berry accept it too? And she was like
Yep.
literally on the stage accepting the award.
I
for
think the
Catwoman.
director of Showgirls also accepted his.
Paul
Oh,
Verhoeven.
Verhoeven.
Yeah.
Sandra Bullock
that's
appeared when she accepted her award.
for Speed 2, right?
Oops.
Oh, it was for like All About Steve.
Oh, I would have thought because Speed 2 was apparently a huge flop, like critically and financially as well. Like everybody thought really hated that movie. Like the first Speed isn't perfect, but I could kind of understand why a lot of people would find it like it enough that it's like entertaining trash. But apparently Speed 2 is like insulting for your like, intelligence kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I heard Speed 2 was mostly funded for like the end scene where they had to build the entire town just for that one crash scene.
Yeah, but I don't think the setting on like a boat sounds as fun as like a bomb on a bus, and you have to like keep it, over 50
55 miles per hour.
5 miles per hour. Yeah.
Maybe if it was a train, it would make sense, but they already done it later with Unstoppable.
It's true.
Jay, unless, yeah, Jay. What's
Which
up?
one?
Well, one of them I'm pronouncing Jai, and the other one.
Yes.
Jay.
Which is
Cool.
not incorrect. I accept both pronunciations.
Yeah.
So, Adam, I know that you were talking about how, especially when watching these trailers, that you either want to watch them digitally or maybe you have interest in seeing in theaters. Have you ever considered, I don't know, sneaking into a bad movie, but you still bought a ticket for a good movie for support? Like, say,
No. I've only ever done that when I was like not of legal age to watch a movie.
I mean, recently there was the whole thing about teenagers buying wild robot tickets just to see Terrifier 3. So
Yeah.
that was a news story.
I heard
Mhm.
that. That was very
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense. Why not?
Adam, what was the story of
Very
you
funny.
like running out of a movie theater once? It was like for a Saw film, I think.
Yeah, it was Saw 3.
Yeah, you had
That's
masks
hilarious.
on that got filled with the vomit or something.
That was Jackass 3.
Okay.
Yeah. One of the threes.
Yeah.
That was quite the fucking story.
Yeah.
I'll be
Yeah, I had that just
going
because-
to Michael Batt's wedding.
Mm.
Wait,
soon.
Based.
He's getting married.
Oh wow.
To
When is he getting married?
to a girl.
Batt.
Next
Ew.
month.
Oh, that'd probably be nice.
Who wants to be a girl? Am I right?
Yeah.
Not me.
Yeah, I had to add just because I know you're having some sort of crisis about which one to watch, and especially if you have to do it for content. And I know some people do just because, well, if you were to do it, you might as well just support for a good movie, but not do it for a bad movie.
No. If I see a movie in theaters, I'm paying for the movie I'm seeing.
I would say that like the novelty of sneaking into other movies, that kind of there's only like that magical thing to it if you're like a teenager. It's kind of I can't like imagine a full grown adult like sneaking into a movie.
Yeah, like
I mean-
what's the point other than just like trying to not give your money to a specific thing?
I mean, didn't Eddie Burback did it when he was trying to watch Morbius 7 times in a row?
Yeah,
instead
but
of playing
like
Ticket for Dead?
yeah, but like there wasn't anything keeping him from that. He was just doing that for the lulz. Like so he wouldn't give Morbius more money, right?
That's a weird thing. Why not give it more money if you're watching it that many times?
It's like it's not like an adventure. It's just like he doesn't want to be tasked. He doesn't want there to be like paper evidence that he went to see Morbius, just video evidence.
Oh, speaking of Morbius, you still seeing Craven the Hunter when that comes out?
I don't know. When does it come out?
I like honestly, I just gave up. Has
December.
officially given up on whatever Sony Spider-Man, no Spider-Man universe is at this point after Morbius and Madam Web. And look, I have a huge question for all of you. Which studio has gotten worse this year? Sony or Lionsgate? My
Lionsgate.
money
I still
is
think
on
it's Warner
Lionsgate.
Brothers, in my opinion,
Warner
because they're
Brothers
still
for
kind
me
of
too.
they're kind
Yeah.
of screwed after all these losses with the superhero movies and their sequels afterwards. Especially
Good. Warner Brothers is evil.
Yeah, I want
Also, Adam, I think
No.
Craven the Hunter comes out around December.
Yeah.
Well,
Probably the 13th.
screw that. I'm seeing Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Nosferatu in the Brutalist.
Oh, I'm seeing Nosferatu too. I'm so excited for that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Lionsgate has had 7 flops in a row.
Yeah.
What a
So,
shame.
Say what
Oh,
you
no.
want about
Borderlands,
Sony.
Megalopolis.
Like, say
were
what
the
you
other
want about
5?
Sony. Sorry, my apologies. Say what you
Sorry.
want about Sony, but at least that they had a couple of good, decent critical and box office hits on their hands. So, like, Lionsgate has made baffling decision after baffling decision, from not giving Boy Kills World a very decent, actly shot and a decently shot action film with Bill Skarsgård in the lead, to having a wide release, to including AI into their corporate and marketing model or something, to having easily some of the worst films of this year in terms of critical reception and box office bomb.
Wasn't The
And
Crow
also,
one of
Adam,
them?
huh? Yep.
Wasn't the
And
yeah, The Crow was one of them.
that's
Yeah.
right. I still haven't forgot about that. And Adam, if we ever plan on doing a watch along of The Crow, both the OG 1994 version and the 2024 version, call me. I am a super fan of this film. I can give you the context, the tea, and make you see the film in the proper light for what it really is.
Mayhaps.
The original
Easily the
movie's fun.
greatest comic book film, superhero film of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I said it. Yes,
I
yes,
love
yes.
I mean,
love
won't
the
Lionsgate still be
soundtrack.
safe because the only 2 movies that they're probably get their money's worth is
This is
Saw
what I'm
and
having.
Dunwick.
Is that
This is what I'm
cantaloupe?
having.
Taters?
Melon, snowball melon.
Oh.
If you look it up, it's called snowball melon. If you look it up, you can find it, images of it. It's like white with like green lines on it.
Okay.
Snowball, yeah. Do you guys like melon?
Yeah.
Depends.
I
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I like
I
melon.
like watermelon.
yeah.
Yeah.
Watermelon a lot.
Be right back.
I've come around to liking cantaloupe more in recent years.
Cantaloupe, cantaloupe's one of
Cantaloupe
the
is my
best
favorite
fruits.
between the melons.
It's one of the best fruits ever.
Yeah.
I like
It was
Anthony
like-
Fantana.
We're just
It's
in like
good melon.
mango season. We're just like in mango season now here in Australia, and I always forget how much I love like the sweetness of like a mango, especially like cut into like the sort of like cubes. The cubes
Yeah,
that are
like-
cut where you
Yeah,
peel it
like
back
like
and
like
it's just
like that, like
Yeah.
that.
just like that. And it's so sweet and satisfying when you're like eating it. It's like the texture, the taste of it. It's both like satisfying in hunger and kind of like as a thirst quencher as well, because there's like a lot of like juice in the fruit of the mango. It's so satisfying to eat.
Tate, what's up?
Hey, I just wanted to say two quick things. One, just to kind of like go back to the discussion we were having about bad animated films or shows. Little shout out I wanted to give specifically to a what I think might be the worst anthology segment I've ever seen. Which is funny just because it's from one of my favorite movies. If any of you have ever seen Heavy Metal, it's the second to last segment
Yeah.
called So
Oh my
Beautiful, So
God.
Dangerous, which I love, but I think it's like one of the most terribly made like
It's-
pieces of animation I've ever seen.
It's
Just
incredibly
mostly from like how
pretentious.
it's written. Like it's a completely incomprehensible segment as to what they were trying to do and the way it was put together. And if for those of you who've seen it, if you didn't know, they literally edited it. They fucked up the sequence for some of the events that happen where the very end is put close to the end and what's
Oh.
close to the end is
What?
put as the very end of that movie
That's
or
really
of that
weird.
segment. And I don't know, I thought that it's like so funny, but that's if I was to think of like a single anthology segment that's the worst, that might be the worst animated one I've ever seen, even though I enjoy it. And also I was gonna say that I went to a reptile convention this past weekend and picked up some more tarantulas.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I think my least favorite anthology segment is P is for scary in ABCs of Death 2.
Wasn't that the one directed by Ty West?
No, that was
No.
the letter M in the first ABCs of Death.
My
I see.
my mum's abusive ex used to have a tarantula many years ago, and yeah, that abusive ex, we don't talk about him. Yeah, just because he
It's a
mentioned tarantulas.
shame. It's a shame that ABC
Okay.
of
These
Death
tarantulas
have,
are nice though, I promise.
Yeah.
Well,
It's a
nice
shame
enough.
that ABCs of Death have like a lot of like really shitty anthology segments because there are some that are like really good. Like I think
Most of
my
them are
favorite-
awful.
Yeah, I think my favorite one is the T for Toilet one because of like Lee Hardcastle's a good animator.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, I recall that as of this year, we have 2 debut films that are from people from the ABCs of Death 2. I think it was one was the stop motion segment who later did, ironically, stop motion.
I'm
and
back.
Recently, it was the guy who did Z for ABC of Death 2 who later did In the Violent Nature. So it's kind of surprising to see them appear in this year with their 2 horror films, especially In the Violent Nature, which I thought it was interesting, but also I can definitely see why a lot of people will not like it because of its approach to this genre.
We're gonna go through everyone's final questions and comments. And then I'm busy and I'm also sick.
Oh,
great.
what's wrong? What do you mean you're sick?
A lot of congestion.
Hmm.
Probably a cold or something. I don't know. I've been sick since
I
I got
hate
back.
that.
So.
I hate that.
I'm better. I'm doing better than I was a few days ago, but
That's
Okay,
good.
well,
it's annoying.
let's just hope that you get better soon, Adam.
Yeah.
We
Thank
hope
you.
we wish you a speedy recovery.
Thank you. Beth.
Oh yeah. Do you guys remember that old Xbox advert?
Hey.
The one Life is Short, Play More. That was a weird ad.
Oh yeah, the one where he gets launched from birth and like
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
flies through the
Yeah, I
air,
remember that
growing
now.
and
Sounds
growing
fun.
until like literally falls
Very
directly into a
strange
coffin.
ad, yeah.
Very strange.
There were a
Early
lot
two
of there were a lot of weird gaming ads.
Yeah, early 2000s
in
had
the
some
early
good gaming ads.
in the early 2000s there were and a lot of weird ones. Like BC's former profile pic was the Rayman 3 one where he pisses in a urinal.
Yeah. And it said something about like bigger features or whatever.
A lot of the
Have you guys seen
PS3
the old
ones were just really weird.
Have you guys seen the old PlayStation 2 like magazine ads? Like they're really like weird and kind of gory. Like the one with the eye and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm dimly aware of that. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. And also I can't think of anything else. I'm so sorry. I will just
That's
yeah,
alright.
I had to go. I had to go now, but I'll see you guys next month.
All right, thank you.
Later, Beth.
Bye.
See you,
Bye.
Beth.
Beth.
Bye.
I'll be around
See ya, Beth.
the
Yeah.
server though. I'll be around the server and maybe the Minecraft server as well. Who knows? Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Rishi.
You know, it's the season of Halloween, and not because Halloween is just a week away. I have a question for Adam, and probably for all of you. What is one horror movie and one non-horror movie that really messed you up and left you disturbed, and is probably the most disturbing film that you have ever seen? Mine is Titan, Julia Ducournau's Titan, because the experience of that film, you know how you know those possession scenes from the Evil Dead films?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was like watching Julia Ducournau's Titan, and I am very curious to see what she does next.
Mm-hmm. She's great.
I think for me, the most disturbing, especially as a kid, was probably like two movies, either Takashi Miike's Audition or
I just saw that.
Gaspar Noé's Irreversible. Like the final 10 minutes of like Audition is like the most fucked up you'd ever see.
Yeah.
It's well done, yeah.
It's very well done.
Recently saw the OG Pulse from Cure director Kira Kurosawa. There's a scene from Pulse that not only was it scary, but without the use of music or jump scares, it's so effective because of let's just say, involves a very specific performance that to this day I'll never get out of my head.
Yeah, I gotta watch that still. Climax fucked me up the first time I saw it. Now I have a lot of fun with it, but it's still like anxiety inducing.
Yeah, that
Hell
movie.
yeah.
That
I
movie is
like
kinda
watching
like
that
a
movie a
roller
lot. I
coaster
could watch that
ride of
movie a million
trauma.
times.
Yeah, it's great.
If I was to
Just-
think of one, the only movie I could think of that I've like lost sleep of in recent memory was when I saw Rosemary's Baby in college. There's just something about
Ooh.
the way that all played out that like just really got to me at the end and just
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
really got to the core.
I recently watched the French version of Martyrs, and that movie really fucked me up.
It's
Oh, hell yeah.
fucking
Yeah, that's pretty
brutal.
dark.
It's very brutal.
Very grotesque.
It's a fun movie night pick.
Didn't they release a prequel to Rosemary's Baby that I don't think anyone even talks about unless you search it up? There's a Rosemary's Baby if you
yeah.
have Paramount Plus.
Rosemary's Zygote.
Apartment
Yeah, I don't
7,
remember
eh?
what it was called. Yeah, Apartment
Yeah,
7.
that one.
I don't know.
Apparently, it's not that good.
I wouldn't think it
Maybe
would be.
it was because maybe it was in response to the success of Immaculate and The First Omen.
I think look what's happened to Rosemary's Baby was funny. That was a funny movie.
Oh yeah.
What was
What have
even
you
happening
done
in that
to
movie?
you maniacs?
Was that the made-for-TV one? Like
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
that
funny.
one. The one where they had this weird representation of punk rock, and they think that was like devil worship.
Oh yeah.
I think it was like the equivalent of like those kind of movies that a lot of Christians make in the response to Dungeons and Dragons kind of thing. But with
All
Oh
right.
yeah, the one where they have early Tom Hanks and Mazes and Monsters.
All right, Rishi, was that it?
Okay.
That's a funny movie.
Yeah, that was it.
Okay.
And as always, let us go back to the club.
Thank you.
Well.
Max.
I think I've had two questions, but I forgot one of them. But one is I've been rewatching like your old Fall Guy videos on like your YMS plays up for
Great
season one,
videos.
season 4. Absolutely love them. Is will there be another video about guys with season 5?
I don't know. I don't
Be
know.
awesome to watch. There's like a lot of gems in like the season 5 one, especially.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
but, like, very
someone's
entertaining.
working on it,
Mm.
but I don't know. I've got to figure that out.
I look forward to it if it ever comes out.
hmm
It's like the season 1 to 4 ones were like very fun and entertaining to watch. I think my favorite one is probably like the season 3 ones.
Yeah, there was some fun stuff. All right, is that it? No.
I think that was it, but I kind of don't remember. Yeah, I kind of don't remember what I was going to ask her regarding the, I guess, Halloween one, other than to say, hope things go well. Hope you recover from your sickness. Hope the move and unpacking goes well, because unpacking is a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
a lot,
100%.
but you know, the new room design is good so far. I think it'll help out a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you get the decor right. It's
Mhm.
a very important element of, you know, doing up your room.
Mhm. All right, thank you.
Luck.
Thanks. Jamie.
Yes. Yes. Well, I was going to mention earlier that I heard from a friend that would not stop talking about it because he loved Last Stop Union County.
Mhm.
That Francis Galupi, did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay.
They're doing like an Evil
He's-
Dead thing, right?
Yes, which
Yeah.
I'm intensely excited for, considering of how much I love Last Stop.
Yeah.
And then second thing that I always been doing, because I can never really think of a question to ask at the end, is just say thank you to Adam for all the work you do. Thank you to Olivia. Thank you
Aw,
for all
thanks.
you guys doing great work, and it's terrific. I love this community that you two built a lot.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it very much.
Yeah, you guys are amazing. You do amazing work,
Aw,
putting everyone's
thanks.
frowns upside down.
Mhm. All right. Tate.
I
Nothing.
one
Just
little
final
thing
questions
that
and comments.
I didn't know how to bring this up earlier. But I tried the thing you said on Sardonica. I forget the exact name of it, but I think it was during the discussion for Don't Let the River Beast Get You. You were talking about the guy that makes like poop songs.
Yes.
And to look up my name for it, sadly, there is no like Tate poop song.
You should call him.
Is that what he does? Do people just call him for those?
Yeah, just call him and
Yeah,
say, hey,
apparent-
there's no Tate poop song.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember the review you gave him a call. He sounds like a very nice, generous guy, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, he's fun.
That was all I had.
You should get him on the next Sardana cast if he's ever available.
I'll get him at some point.
Hmm.
Olivia, did you have any questions or comments?
When do we start the fundraiser for the giant jar to go with your Scar plush?
That's up to you.
Ugh.
No.
I knew it was gonna go there.
I don't need a jar. I have my room.
Oh, that's worse.
Just don't leave it on the radiator.
Oh
Yeah.
God. I'm being reminded of that one Chan post with the fucking Rainbow Dash doll.
I take it all
Yeah,
back.
that's literally
I hate
what I'm
this community.
referencing.
You guys are awful people.
All right. Hewlett fan, do you have any final questions or comments?
Yeah, I guess so. What is the big difference between like a 9 and a 10 film for you? Because like a 9 is like, yeah, close to perfection, but like I don't know, a 10 is a perfect film, but like nothing can truly be perfect. I guess is like a 10 then like a 9 with no flaws, or like
A
kind of
10 can have flaws. It just depends on how much I like it.
I think it's always, I think the last point is always up to personal preference for people.
I mean, every point's up to personal preference.
Yeah. If there are any like 9 films that you could choose or whatever that you would change ever so slightly, you know, to make it close to perfect or whatever, what would it be? Like what stops like the big 9 in it?
I don't have the mental capacity to be thinking about that. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Right.
no. Yeah, I should keep that to Reddit questions. Yeah. I guess the only other thing is, what are the best IMAX cinemas that you've ever been to? Like, I don't know if you've ever heard, but like in the UK, we have like one of the biggest. We have a place called the Science Museum,
Mhm.
and we have biggest IMAX in like Europe, fitted with like proper, like it's none of that like boring sort of like that awful thing that you mentioned. I can't remember what it was called, but it was like cinema, but like with like smell or something like that, or like what they do. No, not that. They do something with the speakers or something like that. It was.
Was it
do
like
you know
Screen
that's
X?
Screen X? Oh yes, that's it. Yes, Screen X.
What about Screen
That's
X
some
though?
dumb shit.
Screen X. Yeah, I mean, what are you say that's terrible, but like, what are the better IMAX cinemas that you've been to?
The Mall of Georgia had a pretty good one. I saw Avatar 2, and I also saw Challengers there.
Mm.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, as long as it's like a proper IMAX, then you're getting the IMAX experience. You have to make sure that it's not just like a regular theater playing an IMAX movie.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
differences.
yeah. I guess the only other thing I'll say is, yeah, are you into any like furry musicians at all? I don't know if like you listen to any of those, but there's a huge like scene for like furry like ravecore musicians, like people like Kaj or Forlung, and I don't know if you ever listened to any of those.
I would need to delve into it more. There's a couple tracks I like from Pepper Coyote, but he's not like a rave musician.
Okay, cool.
No cock like horse cock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jay.
Wait, what about all the single furries?
That is a
My
great
favorite.
one.
No, I think I got my questions down.
Okay. All right. BC.
Well, I was a bit quieter today than I am usually on these hangouts. I think it's just the fact that I don't know, maybe it's just the fact that I didn't have a lot to say really, and not feeling the greatest, but we'll get better.
Oh,
But I have
sucks.
I'm not sick. It's just kind of depression and stuff. So,
Mm.
but I'll get
I know
through
that
it.
feeling.
We all get it.
Hope you
Yeah,
get-
but
hope you
I
get
have
well.
two quick questions, and then that's it.
Sure.
First question. It's been something I've been wanting to ask you for a while, but what are your thoughts on Edgar Wright's next film being a remake of the film Running Man?
I don't even think I've seen the original.
Wasn't he doing a Barbarella remake?
No, well, his next movie is going to be a remake of The Running Man, and it just got announced that Michael
Sure.
Cera is going to be in the lead role.
Oh, that's a
so it's going to
weird
be a Scott Pilgrim reunion apparently for him.
Okay,
It might
cool.
be interesting.
Yeah, why not?
Just remember the original Running Man was also based on a Stephen King novel or short story.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I'm
why
interested
not?
to see.
It was.
I'm curious to see what it is. I did not like Last Night in Soho, but I'm still
Neither
curious
did
to
I.
see. I'm
Yeah,
still
I-
curious as to what
That
he's
was
going to do with
disappointing.
the remake of The Running Man. You know,
Mhm.
so I figured I'd ask because it's been something being asked for a while. They just announced Michael Cera is going to be in it, so Scott Pilgrim reunion, yay!
Yeah.
And then the second and final question I have is you already mentioned you're doing watch-alongs for Joker 2 and The Apprentice, but what day are you going to do like a triple feature of those two films and Butt Boy on the same weekend, or is it
I don't
like
know yet. Probably. Probably
that's all
on
I-
the weekend of like next weekend.
Yeah, next weekend it could be Butt Boy, Joker 2, and The Apprentice back to back.
Yeah, I'll see what happens.
All right, and that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. I'm gonna
Thank you so much. Yeah.
keep working on
So
my room
much.
and shit.
All right.
All right,
Later,
bye.
Adam.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Later.
Here.
Have fun with the
Bye,
wedding.
everybody.
I'm excited for Life is Cringe tomorrow.
Yay.